Hi everybody, we are here and ready for another loot review. So it's gonna be super exciting.
And it's a loot reveal today because nobody's seen it yet, including you, right?
I've just barely seen it because it was supposed to come earlier, but as you know, shipping has not been very reliable lately. It basically comes at the last minute possible lately.
Yes.
Even though it's supposed to come earlier.
We're supposed to get it, so let's clarify, not our shipping, but the postal service.
Yes, the postal service.
Or this was UPS.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just been taking a long time.
It's been very unreliable. So let me pop this guy up at the top because it's our whole entire
for that.
topic of the day. Hi, Cindy. We'll just wait for some people to populate in. But yeah, today's been a morning.
Your morning.
It's the universe is conspiring against me, I'm pretty sure. Just a lot of different little things. You'll see my thumbnail isn't painted. That is not on purpose. The entire nail popped off. I don't know why. All the other ones
It's
are
not
doing
fake
just fine.
nails either, right? It's just the gel polish.
It's just the gel polish, and it just completely popped up. And I did the base entirely the same as all the other ones as I normally do. And it just completely, boom, popped off. Didn't have time to fix it. And then, what else was there? When I went to leave, there was like a big truck in the way. And I tried to turn around, but it was like inconvenient. And then they finally went past, and so I could leave. And then, while I was driving today, I have like a little phone holder right on my dashboard. My phone decided to yeet itself right out of it at me. Like it came flying out of it. I don't even know how that happened. It literally like was throwing itself at me. So it's been quite the morning, and I don't know why.
Does anybody else have Monday morning adventures this morning?
Did I say anything else? I feel like there's more than that.
Probably.
I think there's probably more.
It was just kind of like a constant stream of this was what went wrong. But we still started on time.
Yes, we did still start
with
on time.
Like 3 minutes to spare.
Yep.
And our link for the loot didn't want to go in, and we figured that out too.
And my mom brought me Dr. Pepper, so from the specific McDonald's location that we like.
You know what? I think these
not
would
sponsored.
Go. Well, that one was actually on the way down here, so you have to tell me. I thought it was pretty good. It's been sitting
pretty
for
good.
a while, so I'm just gonna give you some inspo earrings that I think will go with our theme today.
So I could put some on from here.
How is everyone's morning going?
Is anybody else having a morning like me? On Monday? Terrors of the Monday?
Hey, Peggy. Good morning. Well, morning for us.
Wow, Peggy wasn't first this time. What an odd occasion. Maybe she's having a morning like I am.
Yes, maybe she is, but she was waiting to say hello.
Also, guys, there's something I'm considering doing to my hair. Can you guess what it is? I don't like to keep you. I like to keep you on your toes.
First of all, you got another cute refresher haircut.
Yeah, because she did extra. I had her do extra highlights and tone it differently, so it's a little bit different. And then
I feel like last time we saw you was a little longer.
And I have a star on my nose. Oh, that's the other thing why the universe is conspiring.
Oh, that's the other thing.
That's what I was forgetting. I have a massive pimple forming right here. I've had this sticker on, like I keep changing it out because it's supposed to help take care of it and heal it for the last 3 days. Nothing has happened. It is still just sitting there like a big bump. Nothing's come to a head. This is really gross, obviously.
TMI, but okay, we love you.
This is yeah.
That's what it is.
That's why that's there.
Yep. Because Saturday you're like, oh, I think it's gonna be gone by Monday.
I'm like really hoping it's gonna be gone by Monday because I've been wearing these patches every single day. Nope, not a budge.
But it's cute.
Yeah, at least it's in a very convenient location where, like, if it was on the side of my nose, it wouldn't be, like, even. But it's right smack dab in the center.
I think it's cute. Oh, so Peggy says, what color? Let's see. You're wearing it. Let's see if we can get a guess.
Am I? I don't think they can see that.
Yeah, no. You are.
But
I just put your earrings in. I think it's kind of like that color.
It is pretty similar.
Peggy says, I'm dying of heat. Okay, so Corian said that it's really hot there. I was talking to her.
Oh, there's a heat advisory. Yeah.
I was talking to her this morning, and she was at a wedding this weekend, and she said it was so hot.
Yeah,
and I was telling her how cold it's been here.
There's like a zoning that they show on a map of what that looks like. We aren't out of it, but we're in the yellow. So we're in the very bare minimum of that heat advisory. So we're not going to get the heat. It'll probably be pretty similar heat-wise because it just gets hotter here.
Yeah.
But we're not in the, like...
Danger zone.
Which is surprising that's in the Midwest. And you guys also have the humidity. That sounds horrible.
Okay, so do you think this is similar to the color at all?
It's pretty close. I feel like... She
would be very
verdigris
vintage.
and green opal together.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I'm thinking about it.
What do you guys think?
No promises. No promises. It's a consideration.
What's the other color that you thought about? Or was that the only one?
No, that was the only one.
Okay, because maybe I said you would look pretty in candy pink.
Yeah, you said that.
But maybe you didn't bring that up. That was in my brain anyway. So what do you think? Should Ainsley get mermaid hair? Inquiring minds want to know your opinion.
Exactly.
All right, so what do you think? Should we show them what is coming in the loot this month and reveal it? I feel like your screen needs to back out a little bit too because you're missing the bracelets.
They don't want to see that. They don't even want to know what it looks like. I'll do a pan. Okay. I'm going to switch over to just the view of the loot here. Okay. So let's do a quick little pan over, starting from over here.
I'm just going to turn this around so I can see where I'm positioning you in the screen. For when we do the split.
There's a nice quick pan for you guys. Let me get this up and settled.
Okay, you want to switch that to the AB.
Or are you gonna not do anything?
What's that? What do you mean?
Like I'm just doing this full screen.
Oh, no. Yeah, we want you at the top. We want to keep seeing your face.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you had any business to take care of.
Nope. No, not today.
Okay.
Because I can't do it from my phone, so.
No, I'm not in it. You have to go way up.
Okay, so let me see.
Because it's right there.
You got it. You got it
the
swapped
very bottom
over.
one. No.
Go ahead and swap it over, and then.
I'll just tell you. Just go way up.
Move up.
That's better. You can zoom out a bit. Yeah, there we go. Hi, Jeanette. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Carrie. Okay. So, we can now see all of the stuffs in front of us. We have a lot to work with. And so I'm going to work with all of this stuff too, on the fly. So, no pressure to me at all to create something absolutely amazing.
Let's zoom out a little bit again. I know you did the pan, but... And you could maybe pick up, there you go. And then you can just pick up the pieces to show everything that they're getting. That's a great view, actually.
So lots of really cool Southwestern kind of feeling pieces. I know that's kind of what we're thinking for our theme today that we're gonna run with, but
Peggy's asking how long the finding sale is, and that is running through the end of this week. So usually I switch those out on Fridays. Usually our sales will run for about a week. Sometimes I'll be generous and run it over the weekend, but I think we will be swapping that at the end of the week. And yeah, we probably should have announced that, right? So
yeah.
Everything that you need to go with these, just go to vintage.com, or if you're a wholesale customer, wholesale.vintage.com, and all of our findings are on sale. So jump rings, lobster clasps, ear wires, head pins, eye pins, etc., etc.
This is also very easily bent, so if you want to bend this to your actual shape, you can do that. I'm just going to do a quick bend, show you how easy that is.
So we've got a couple of yeses and a couple of no's. So Carrie says no for your hair. And Peggy says yes. Ooh, we might need more votes if you want to sway her one way or the other. These are going to be great for doing the antique in. I'm excited.
Super easy. As you can see, I just completely adjusted that. It would have fallen off my wrist before.
And those have a hole to be able to hang a charm, right?
So super easy to bend.
Or you could put a safety. You could punch a hole on
These
the
are
other
also
side.
very easily bendable. Look at that. There's a lot of room for that.
You could suspend chain in there if you wanted to. If you have a very small wrist and don't want to lose it.
This one's a little bit tougher, but definitely could still bend. You could use those tools that we were featuring last week.
That one's really made to suspend something in the center. So you're supposed to put a charm in there. Like you could do this. Could be one, right? Or this, actually.
If you have a larger wrist, you could do this.
Like that one would do it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's almost the perfect size to make a bangle out of it.
If you have this size wrist.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or you put a lobster clasp on one of the sides, which is what we used to do with Bella, because that's where that came from.
Yeah, you can see the branding in there.
Oh, is it in there?
Yeah, it's lightly etched in there.
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't realize that.
You guys see that? Yeah.
I know we did some marks on some of the pieces for a while. Carrie says dark brown is fire now for hair color. I don't even know what you would look like with dark brown.
I don't think I could do brown. I think it would
really good with dark brown.
I think it would look good, but I feel like it wouldn't be my personality to have darker hair.
Mm-hmm.
I have more of like that, like, you know how they say like sun versus moon?
Yes.
And even though I'm very vampy, I'm still very like, everybody's like, oh, that's like, you're very sunshiny as a personality.
Yeah.
Or
so
like Gia will be like, to me, you're like the color yellow because you're so bright and sunny. Mm-hmm. So I feel like it would not be
Hi, Carmen.
very mean and me. But if I want more moon, it would have to be like silvery white.
Yeah, I think so. That would be pretty. Ainsley's done platinum before.
Yeah, they saw.
Mm-hmm. Well, not everybody. Some people are new.
If you go back on the lives,
if you go way back,
you'll see.
A while ago,
I also used to have long hair.
Super
if you're
long,
very new.
platinum hair.
I even showed Gia because Gia actually met me. So we talked to each other before I'd cut my bangs, and I showed her a picture of me without them, and she's like, no, it was a video.
Yeah.
And she's like, wait, that looked like really good. She's like, this still looks really good.
Yeah. That was kind of like
but that also looked super good too.
Like when your dad and I got married, I had short hair, like a bob. And he saw an old picture of me and he's like, oh, you actually look really good with long hair too. So I was like, oh, I can grow it. Well, I mean, I would have anyway if I felt like it. But I didn't grow it right away. I grew it after I had kids because it was actually easier for me to
You just
take care of.
You didn't want to maintain it while you're with all the children.
No, I know that sounds funny, but longer hair is easier for me to maintain because it's...
Also, guys, you want to know a funny story? So when I was a kid, I only really remember my mom with long hair. And so when I was about 5 years old...
In her princess phase, right?
I was very much like beautiful, long, luxurious hair is like the most beautiful. Also, I feel like I was very change adverse as well.
Yes, yeah.
And she cut her hair off.
I donated it.
And donated. I cried. I literally cried. I was like, no, why would you do that? Thought it was the most, and it's not even that it looked bad or anything. I just thought it was the most abominable thing to do. How could you cut your hair off? But I was a child, so. There is so much here. Like, there's a lot here. I'm overtaking you guys with so many stories.
That's okay. There's so much to go over today. I think we kind of need to like relax into it, and we're just also absorbing everything that's coming in here.
These are perfect for customization.
I think they're cool. So one of the things that I want to do...
Or bracelet. Just bend them all
that
together.
would be neat.
Like a cool
We
bracelet.
could use our tool again and do that.
Ooh, I have an even cooler idea, guys. What if we took a piece like this and hammered it into it?
Ooh. Well, you know what? That works best with pewter.
With pewter?
Actually, yeah. Which we don't have in here, but we will do that in the future. You can kind of get it to work, but that's a great piece for that technique. We'll have to keep that in our hip
this
pocket.
one's super...
Brass isn't very reliable for that, for receiving it, because it's hard enough. Like the same metal softness to the same, if it was pewter that you were doing it into, for sure. But it's the same metal hardness. But yeah, I think we should for sure hammer those copper pieces and antique them with black.
Yeah, they would look really good.
Because I'm thinking, so Corian's pieces that she sent this time around have a little bit of a Southwest boho vibe to them, especially like these were designed by Mackie, and this is UV printed on there, this design. And so I grabbed you some colors that kind of go with this as well. If you notice, I did some inspo colors, but I was thinking we could antique some of the bangles. We could for sure hammer these and antique them, and then make like some sort of elaborate piece of like boho jewelry.
Yeah.
Like a big necklace, maybe.
Yeah. And Sheila, I'm not surprised that you say that because I get called a redhead a lot. If I'm like out and about, or if there's like the sun in my hair, there's a lot of red undertone in my hair. You can't really tell right now, but if the sun is shining in my hair, it will, and I don't have any highlights or anything, it's just my natural color, it will look very red presenting.
Plus, my hair turned red when I was pregnant with you. Like, the nurses thought I was a redhead.
So it will look very red colored. So it makes sense that you would think that would look good, is because it's like natural tone of my hair color.
Jennifer Ann, if you depending on where you bought it from, if you bought it from the Idaho live shop, yes, email's the easiest way to get a hold of them, that team there. If you ordered it from the warehouse and or vintage.com, you can email, but then you can also DM us on Facebook, and we'll see your request there to correct your order, because we always want to make sure that we respond timely. And sometimes, we get a lot of messages, so it's not unheard of for things to get missed. So we want to make sure that we're taking care of you guys. We never mind getting a DM or a question on a live about something, because we just want to make everybody's day, right?
Mm-hmm. Do you guys want to get into some painting here first?
What do you want to do?
I want to paint.
Hammer. You want to paint?
Oh, but I do need to hammer some stuff first, so we'll do the hammering. Let me move this stuff out of the way. Well, these can actually stay there, but I'm going to move these off to the side.
Wait, you know what? While you what I will do is I'm going to move these actually up here so they can still see them. And then I'll let you work here so that
Well, not all of them are gonna fit up there.
I will make it happen.
What if we hammer these?
That would be cool too.
2 of these. I'll do 2
I
of
like that
these
idea.
for earrings.
So I'm going to move these, Ainsley's third arm.
And then I want to hammer one of these. And one of these.
Ooh, cool. I'm going to
And
move all this up to the top.
One of each sizes of the feathers.
Can you guys believe this is all coming in your subscription for $100? That's crazy, right? Are you going to hammer some of those?
I'm only doing
You're putting
2
the
of them.
things down there that you're using, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I will move everything else up here out of your way. So I'm constantly giving my husband advice on how to deal with our youngest. I'm sending him reels and stuff because he can be challenging to get to want to do things. And I saw this thing where it was like, you're not going to trigger trigger as much demand avoidance if you sing your request. So this weekend he was like, I told Xavier, I was calling him from downstairs and I was like, come up and get your thing. And then your dad was like singing the same request to him because he was reminding me what I told him, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
He's like, if you're going to tell me to do it, you better do it too.
I'm going to zoom in just a little bit.
Yes, paint. Yes, paint. Ooh, okay.
So we're going to do some hammering really quickly first. As I make everything fall over in the background. You can't currently see it.
Oh, you know what I want to ask? What is the next tool review that you guys would like a Monday live on?
So I started with the flat end, and now I'm going to do this other end, on the edges, texture. Kind of like a stippling texture on the edges. Okay, you can see before versus after. Before,
So
after.
I don't know if you could hear, but I would like to know if there is a tool that you guys would like us to focus on one of our Monday lives, like we did the cylinder pliers. Is there anything that you want us to do a spotlight on? Drop it in the comments if so.
Sorry to your ears.
I enjoy it.
Part of the experience. As any old person like my father would say, who's really not that old, but it builds character. That's my favorite thing to say to him if he doesn't want to do something.
That's funny.
I'd be like, it builds character.
Dad.
I used to say it so much.
Becky says I love the sound. I would much rather hear a hammer or a saw than a lot of other things, interestingly enough.
And when we paint these, we're going to get even more of that texture out. Those are done. Okay. Now we're going to completely flatten this piece out. Careful my fingers.
I just want to make a match.
Not that much.
Just tape up your fingers like.
It gives it such a dainty feel
Yeah.
when you completely flatten it out.
I think a lot of earrings like that, you could antique them and make kind of a chandelier-ish one with other things hanging from it.
So I'll show you, this is what this looks like now. This is the before and the after. So this does have a much daintier feel.
Yeah,
All
very
we
feather.
did is completely flatten it. Oopsie. Gonna completely flatten the key.
A kid whining, crying for no reason for one. I can't. How much whining do I tolerate?
Basically none.
None. No.
Was anybody here raised without like younger kids around them? I think it's like interesting because my best friend, I was saying to her like, oh, you're just like not comfortable around kids because you don't have younger cousins. And she's like, no, I have a younger cousin. And I'm like, she's like, Pia's younger than me. And I was like, girl, she's like a year younger than you. That does not count.
No much younger ones, right?
Because she's like very uncomfortable around kids. But I'm like, you just don't know how to handle kids because you're not been
You've
around
just
them.
not been exposed to it. Once you get used to it, it's not a big deal. But
I feel like you take that for granted, being like raised around a bunch of kids and just like knowing how to be around them.
yeah.
I'm wondering if anybody here was like that. Because I feel like the people who don't like kids that much were usually just never raised around them.
I think this is what she's talking about. Candy Kostelek. Is this what you're talking about? These graduated flyers? I was asking what to do a feature on.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Before. Focus. After.
Magic. Yep. Yes. Definitely, Monica. I would tell my kids that if they whined about something, they were definitely assured not to get it. And also that includes pestering too long about something that they want. So I would say, you know what, you're really, really making it hard for me because I want to give this to you. And I want to do this for you, but I can't reward that. So
I feel like the only people who really whine and pester about things is Zadie and I.
No. Everybody went through that. Well, no, that's actually not true. Hunter never went through that stage.
No, I know. That's what I
Never.
mean. Because he didn't care about social stuff.
No, it was also about things that you wanted. You know what's really sad, you guys? Like, there were a lot of things that he was too smart as a kid. And he would be just like, yeah, I want, because I was like, you never really wanted toys. And he's like, well, no, I did. I just knew that our family couldn't afford it, so I didn't want to stress you out, so I wouldn't ask for it. And I was just like, oh my gosh, that breaks my heart. Not that he had it like rough or anything.
No.
But he just knew we were on a budget, you know. It's like the Walmart run when you go in And
I was always asking.
always
for
asking.
things.
I really want this.
But I feel like too, it's just because I had way less. Like I was talking to my mom about this.
Yeah.
And my mom was like, "You had so many Barbies," and I was like, "What are you talking about, lady?" No, I did not. Like, because I was telling her, like, compared to anybody that I knew, right, in my entire school, they had 4 times as many as I did.
This is crazy.
4 times as many. So I felt very disenfranchised with my, like, probably, like, 8 Barbies that I had. I felt very disenfranchised because everybody else had so many, and I was, like, over here, like, with, like, my same ones that I had, like, the last 10 years.
I'm kind of envisioning is like one of those necklaces where you got the chain in the middle, and then you have like all of these layers hanging down. Like you've got a piece of chain, and then you have like pendant.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like clusters like that. Maybe like
Before, after, before, after.
we're almost doing a feature on the hammer today, except we don't have it linked up, so.
We're almost there. We only have.
Every week's a feature on the hammer. Let's be realistic. Especially if I'm teaching, right? You know something's gonna get hammered, and it's a piece of metal.
Thankfully, it's not you.
You're welcome.
No, I feel like some people would pay to see that.
That's so sweet, Monica.
What'd she say?
She said, that's so sweet. I have a nephew named Hunter. He and his brothers won't ask us for anything because they know we don't have the income their parents have. They've been like that their whole lives. That's good raising. That's good parenting.
I don't think I asked anybody for
Other people?
other people for things. No. I never expected anybody else to do it.
I think that your dad was always a sucker for getting you treats, right?
That was when I was older, though.
Yeah. No. Also, so I kind of have to take a little bit of responsibility for Ainsley's shopping addiction because if she was getting moody when she was little, I would tell her dad that he needed to take her shopping. And, you know, it wasn't like every day, but every once in a while I would be like, oh, I think she just really needs some daddy time. Why don't you take her shopping and get her a treat? So sorry, hon. Just saying.
I'm gonna do. Actually, this is gonna be cool. So I'm just kind of randomly hitting them here, and then I'm gonna concentrate them.
Peggy, that's so rough.
What'd she say?
She was talking about someone having an allergic reaction, a little child, and then not being able to communicate what was wrong.
Oh,
That's so
sucky.
tough.
So I just did like a. I don't know if you can tell that well. I concentrated them toward the bottom, so it's like a gradiated hammer effect.
Yeah, that's cool. I do that a lot.
So, did that one like that. And how should I do these ones?
I would do them the same. Those could almost be kind of like either one of them is a pendant in your conglomerate necklacey thing, or you could have like all 3 in there.
All 3 would be cool.
That would be cool. I would like use them all in the necklace, so I'd do them the same.
So, And I'm just holding it like this because this will get in the way otherwise. And so I want it to
hanging
hit
off the
flat.
end.
So I'm just hanging off the end and then putting tension right here so it's just flat against that.
Have fewer things when you're a kid, you tend to take better care of them. So.
Yeah, I never really trashed any of my stuff. I know I did do like a couple of haircuts, but very, very well.
Yeah, they weren't like that.
My American Girl doll, the ends of her hair looked absolutely thrashed. And so I just
cut the split ends.
I just cut it off, and it was actually even. I don't think anybody could ever tell or knew that I did it. But I was like, oh, this looks really bad here. But whereas like most girls, like if they like cut their American Girl doll's hair, they have to like send them back in and they get them like fixed up. The other day we were gonna go to this place that has like DJ music, right? We ended up not even staying because it wasn't very good and there was nobody there. And this is just like a kind of funny story. And she was like, oh, like we were walking there and Kayla was like, oh, we all have our IDs, right? And I wasn't really thinking about it because I don't drink or anything. And I was like, actually,
whoops.
I don't. And she's like, oh, you're really funny. And I was like,
no,
I really don't. I left it in the car for some reason, I thought. And then she was like, oh, it'll be fine. And then she was like, looked at me and she was like, no, it won't.
You look way too young.
She's like, no, it won't. And then when we were at the casino, when we were on our road trip to Oregon, because G needed to go to the bathroom, and that's just like happened to be where the Tesla chargers were. We're at this casino, and so we like go in there, and the lady like checks us, and she's like, "Are you guys?" She's like, "How old are you guys?" Yada yada yada. She was like, "I'm 24," and then I was like, she's like, "How old are you?" And then I was like, I'm 24. And then yeah, so I got singled out, and then Gia's boyfriend didn't even get asked. And then he was kind of, I guess, offended. Gia told me he didn't even get asked. But she does look pretty young, but maybe she just assumed because he was with two people or whatever. Yeah. And then Gia went to the bathroom, and we were coming back, walking back to exit and leave. And this guy was like, show us your IDs. And then, so, yeah, we showed him the IDs, and I got singled out again that I needed to show my ID specifically. And then, so when we went to that place, right, I was supposed to have the DJs, Gia was like, I promise she's not as young as she looks. Because we had to go back in and get it. Hammering complete. Your ears are safe now. Whew. And it wasn't even like, he was just like, because the bathroom area is in the casino area, we were like walking out. I don't even know why we had it. He was just like, do you guys have your IDs or this? Yada, yada, yada.
You can choose one of those lengths.
Oh. I was like, what's she talking about? I thought it was like one.
like if you wanted to do like the center section, one's considerably shorter than the other one. Looking younger than you are isn't a bad problem to have. I did that for a long time. It can be a lot of fun.
It'll be good in a couple years. But I always make the joke, I'm like, gee, I'm not even supposed to be the problem. Like here, like because she's Asian and they're stereotypically look so much younger. I'm like, it's not even supposed to be me, it's supposed to be you. I'm thinking like that. That'd be cool.
I think you should make those ones into earrings.
And they can't see any of this. Can you scooch those beans back?
These out of the way?
Yes.
Yeah.
Those two?
Magic. Just did that without being seen. It's craziness. You might want, do you want copper out though, in case you want to add some copper accents?
So they can see.
Yep.
So they could not see.
Perfect.
Alright. What else do I want to add in here? I think I want to add this. This is
Monica,
cool.
what were your shenanigans?
This is cool.
I had kids starting pretty young, in my early 20s. So it was always fun to go to like the makeup counter and they'd be like, you have 4 kids? At that time, I was like, you don't even look like you could have 2. Ooh, that's cool.
You were pretty young though.
I was, like I was saying.
You're younger than
Yeah.
I was. You would have been younger than I was. That's crazy to think about. If I had kids the same age as her, I would already have kids, guys.
You'd have,
Isn't that weird to think
you'd
about?
have 2 of them by now.
Yeah.
You can't really compare. Society's different, right?
It's very different. We were talking about that today, is like how much different it is and how much more difficult it is dating wise. Actually, it's interesting statistically how people meet now compared to the past. They've shown like a graph of like where the sources were before, and everything else, right? All of, like the 5 different sections, right? Went like this, and then dating app non-existent at this point. 0.
Oh,
So it completely
crazy.
replaced everything
that's horrible,
with
actually.
a little bit. Because there used to be people would meet at church, they would meet at school, they would meet through family and friends, or they just like meet cute, whatever.
Right.
But most of that, for the majority of it, has just all been replaced by dating apps.
That's crazy.
Which is very
I
superficial.
kind of don't like that.
I don't like it either.
Sorry, I was just playing with those while you're talking.
I do like this kind of cluster of these two at least.
I think those other ones should be earrings.
This would be cute earrings though too.
Mm-hmm.
Just a singular one. And then I
Do you
could do
think,
asymmetrical.
like, I'm almost feeling like this needs a lot of things. So could you do like feathers also more in here?
I want to do asymmetrical earrings.
Ooh.
Like this,
I like
and
that
one long
idea.
one like this.
Oh.
You guys can't even see what I'm talking about. I'm sorry.
Whoops.
The only thing with these being so flat is they really stick there.
Well, and the silicone mat is a bit sticky.
yeah, it's also that. And then I might add like a little like chain or something here. Still not on screen.
You could zoom out a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do. There. This is what I was talking
Hi, Jean.
about with maybe some.
How's your trip going? I'm jealous.
Where's she at?
Slightly. Spain. Although, this afternoon I have a passport appointment. I've never had a passport So this will be my first time getting one.
Heart of the
Finally gonna do
heart.
it.
It only took her multiple children leaving the country first and still not getting one. When I was in Thailand, she was planning on getting one then. When I was in China, she was planning on getting one then. Still somehow it didn't happen.
Craziness, right? I figured it's about time.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
And she's not going anywhere. She's just getting it. Just to have.
Yep. Just because. We thought about going up to Canada, but
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll have time this summer or not.
Time this summer, I don't think. I'm gonna do these smaller ones. I think they're proportionally better.
Oh, cute. Yeah.
And then maybe.
Wait, what about? Ooh, I really like that.
I feel like that's balanced now.
That helps. You know what? Let's move your camera over though, so that you can see your necklace a little bit better.
They can see it all, but yeah, it's
I know, it's just like not centered. What do you guys think of that? I really like that layout. It's really, I don't know. The shapes are really great.
Okay. Now to put it together. First things first.
Well, I think you should paint it. Leave your layout there and then do your antiquing. Because you want to do that before you put it together anyway, right? Because I don't know that we'll get to all the construction today. Or I can even be doing that off screen while you're doing the next demo.
Yeah, okay,
Right.
let me process what to paint this.
Well, I said first,
yeah,
we're going to do black on the copper.
I knew that, but...
So we can do that at least, right? What brush would you like? This one?
Yep.
I tend to grab this brush a lot for when I'm antiquing, which it's a number 6, guys. Feel like I'm doing bingo.
Paper towels.
So every time I come to the studio, I have an opportunity to bring scissors and to bring
A trash can.
a trash can. And do you think I remember either one of those? What do you guys vote? Spoiler alert. Nope, I don't remember. So I've got to lovingly tear these squares. Okay, and actually you don't, yeah. If you use your finger, you don't really have to wipe it off. If you use like your thumb to wipe it and then it doesn't come out. Or you can do it with like a nitrile glove if you have one of those, and see how it just kind of stays in there and doesn't come out. Except for you're not on screen, you need to zoom out. They can't really see what you're doing very well. I'll be right back. I'll let you do antique all 3 of those. The deeper your impressions are, the easier it is to antique.
Yeah, so these impressions aren't the deepest.
Those are a little bit more difficult, but if you either use
But
a
I'm
left
still
hand or
getting
your
it.
skin,
I'm still getting it. It's very obvious if we look at, compared to this, it's a big difference. I'm just dragging my finger off in between. as well.
Jean, where do you live? She said she's jealous of where we all live. I do love it out here.
It is really great out here.
It's really great. A claw hammer would give great divots for sure. So right now we're using black antique. Ooh, that one's turning out really cool. Look at that. That looks great. So yeah, just kind of.
If you get it on a little thicker, I'm noticing, it turns out just a little bit better.
Yeah, then just leave it for a couple seconds.
So
Once
I'm
you
just
have that
kind of
first,
blending this little spot here.
and once you have that first coat down, it's like it becomes a gripper for it. The other, if you want to do multiple coats, but you don't really have to. It can just be challenging with a surface that's very lightly textured.
Yep. Okay.
Loving that. You know, so Jean, I've been watching this gardening, a series of gardening shows, and one was all the Mediterranean, which I'm interested in because the house where we live at is all that type of plantings. So it came with all these gorgeous like yucca plants and grasses and evergreens and all these amazing things. And so what we're doing right now is just manicuring it, cutting back things, really exposing the beauty that's there. So it's interesting. And then it's a very like Southwest style of home. It has saltillo tiles, but there's a lot of like crossover between the Mediterranean design style and this very kind of Southwest feeling home. And I think that's probably because of the Spanish influence in the Southwest.
Yes.
Right? So, which is, you know, I really love that type of architecture as well. So it's cool. How far are you from Wendy's home? So I live in Eagle, so it's probably like 20 to 30 minutes for me. And then if you're down here, where the studio's in Garden City, which is closer to Ainsley's,
it's kind of like 40
Boise,
minutes.
it's more like 45 minutes, or depending on traffic,
Yeah.
it could even be 50.
Yep.
So, thus the need to have different studios. Because time's precious, even if it's just commuting time, right? She's got great views, and I like being next to like a more of a garden feeling. So it's
So I'm
all
not wanting to
different
stick as
kinds of
much, so I'm
beauty.
gonna let it dry a little bit more than I have been.
you could hammer it more too, and then it would stick more. Okay, so what other colors?
See what I mean?
Yeah, I can fix that. Do you want to move on to what other colors you want to use? Yeah, it's just because the hammer's not very deep in here.
Yeah, let's do this butterfly. I'm gonna move my camera so that she's here. Move these up a bit.
There you go.
That. centered. You clean that brush off over this.
What color are you gonna
It's
use?
black. I might use whatever's remnant on that.
I swept most of it off, but it
That's
is
fine.
really a great base to get it started. A lot of times I will antique it in black first and then start with my colors. I maybe put a little bit more on there even, but just to get it rolling.
Okay. Just a nice base. I'm gonna do rust orange. And do we not have any brown?
We do, I just don't have it out.
Brown it is. Going off the.
It's not going to be over there though. Those are all the metallics. So would you like me to get you some?
Yes,
Okay. And which kind of brown do you want? Because we have sienna brown and we have
Give me all the browns.
sepia brown, which is my favorite brown, and sienna brown, which is more of our earthy brown,
Okay.
and then brick red, which is a brown red. So, brown, brown, brown.
Dun dun dun.
How do you guys like the design process? It was out of necessity, but is it fun for you to see kind of how the creative process works when Ainsley's deciding what to do? Is it kind of fun to mix it up that way? Ooh, that's cool. Monica says, I've been hammering and painting the heart blanks and making earrings. I've sold every pair I've made. It's so fun. I've done every pair different colors. So are you doing like putting patina color kind of in the divots like these are done? I know that's always been a really popular item for us, is the copper heart blanks.
Starting with the red, and I'm just kind of stippling her in there. I'm going with the orange.
Looks like maybe we need to make a habit of less preparation because people are liking the design process.
Just because I'm so cool.
Plus, you know, it's a little bit slower paced, so you're seeing the thought process, and I would say it's very similar to when we're just hanging out and designing together,
Yeah.
right? Because you're hearing the same kind of conversation we would have if you guys weren't here. I can like fly on the wall, but then you get to participate, so that's even more fun. I love it. So I have this one pair of earrings that is probably my best seller on my Etsy shop, and it's all different hammered shapes.
Yeah.
I use like metal shears and it also has a patina finish on it. So they are, so when I made them, we didn't have the antique, but I'm able to do the job faster making the patina finish with the antique now than I used to be able to do, which is cool. We are updating all of our sets on vintage.com to be the antique colors for the patina effect sets. So we might feature some of those in future lives as well, once we get those all swapped over. Because they're going to become, the technique becomes a little different because there's more pigment in the antiques than there are stains. So you use a little bit less product.
So I'm just going to let it dry a little bit. I want to keep a lot of this color on there. Obviously I don't want it pooled, so I'm just going to let it dry. That's why I'm not doing anything, and I'm going to go in with more color afterwards. But
Those sound amazing, Monica. I would love to see a photo. Ooh, this guy's looking very rustic.
Mhm.
Love it.
Now
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
would
go through
almost-
and you do a finger wipe here.
Yeah, because if you use the paper towel, a lot of times you're going to remove too much color. So I end up using my finger or a glove when you have put just a light coat on. Either that or just wick it.
And go through and add a light coat again. And I'm gonna concentrate that darker brown. What is that called? Dark brown or
Sienna brown. See, those are the two that I get mixed up a little bit, is sienna and sepia. So the sepia one is a little bit warmer and the sienna one's a little bit cooler.
Thank you. Really bring out those details.
So what made you decide on these colors for this? Did you feel like they just complemented the theme?
I wanted to feel like, deserty kind of like mirage kind of way.
Yeah.
Like, am I seeing that butterfly in the middle of the desert? Just wiping it off with my finger.
So what are you gonna do with the other pieces? Are you gonna infuse any color into them? Like turquoisey colors, maybe?
Potentially.
Because you've got your oranges and browns.
Well, I was
in
even
that
thinking
one.
about doing a little bit of blue in here as well.
Ooh, that could be pretty.
So
So
do you have the heat tool?
We do.
Yep.
You want to just
You
speed
guys
the
can't
process.
see it, but I'm just gonna be hitting this with the heat tool really quickly. Just because I do have some pools and I do want them to stay intact.
Peggy says your shirt is your inspiration.
I wear a lot of browns now because I'm realizing it's like looks very good on me, and I noticed that because of the live. I wouldn't have guessed. I was wearing one of my mom's shirts because I stayed at her house, and so I needed a shirt that was different than the one I wore the day before. So that, and I kind of want. It looks really good like this.
Just leave it. I think it's just so good.
But it will take it to the next level.
What do you guys think? Should we risk it and put another color on there? Oh, it's so pretty. I guess you'll always have, wait, hold it under the camera though, they can't see it.
Sorry, I'm multitasking, cleaning my brush over here.
What do you guys think? Keep it or put blues on it? We've got
just a little bit of blue right here.
I have pale blue and teal blue. Which one? So this is more of like a light turquoisey color, and this is like a dark turquoisey color.
I'm thinking the turquoise, pale blue.
Pale blue. Okay, so light. Okay.
Whose team are you on? Team Ainsley. Team Ainsley. Team Ainsley. Team Ainsley.
Oh, Peggy says leave it as is.
No. You guys are not risk takers.
I guess you know how to get it to look just like it is.
Right. Well, that's the thing is they've seen how to do this.
I suppose. Go ahead, push it. You know what? I'm a big advocate for pushing things beyond their limits, actually. When I'm doing it myself, I do that for sure.
Oh, it's tied right now.
Okay. Well,
it's tied.
Do it before it's not tied anymore. Then you have plausible deniability.
I have plausible deniability. We're just gonna... Oh wait, I need to clean this off though. Not completely, but enough to like, it's not gonna...
Here, get some
well, no, it's fine.
water
I just wanted to get enough so that it's not gonna like sit in a pool. Haha, it's winning anyway. curtain.
Okay, so this
A
is
detail brush, please.
pale blue. Oh, she's going in with the detail brush, guys. Which side? Which size?
The smaller.
This is the little itty bitty one. Okay, so not too much of a risk when you're using the tiny one.
I just want to
Haha, Team Ainsley more color. I guess it's winning. Ooh. And then you should, so with this kind of application, when you're putting it on this light, absolutely leave it and let it dry this way.
Yep. Making
That way
sure-
it's not a ghost of a color. It's like a little art piece.
I'm making sure I concentrated in these grooves here.
It's kind of like precision antiquing.
Yeah. Heat gun it just to speed our process up.
So I am itching to offer the bigger sizes of the antique. We're still trying to
She
get...
did a really cool project to show you too.
That's why I was going to bring it up, because it kind of reminds me of these colors.
Oh, also, we were talking about something the other day. We might do some more behind the scenes stuff.
Oh yeah.
We were talking about doing more of that because we haven't done it as much. So we want to do some more of that so you guys get to see us not just on the lives.
Yeah, so we were thinking maybe we do more stories or things that just, what would you say? It's just a little bit more personal touch.
Yeah.
I think that you have a real flair for butterflies. I also really love the like kind of the harder edge stuff mixed with the softer edge stuff too that you've got going on there with your necklace layout.
I know
Love
what I
it.
need to do. I'm almost done, guys.
You gonna relief it?
No. I'm going to add some balance, and we're just going to go right on these little corners. And it seems silly, but it does make a big difference for your eye visually.
Uh-huh.
So I'm just concentrating right there.
Ooh, 2 more days in Spain. We'll have fun, Jean.
Before and after. And I will relief this in a second here, just a little bit. I do just want to pull this color to the edge a little bit so you can have some balance. Don't do what I just did.
Diane, what are the old masters colorways? Do you mean like master painters, or like as far as like Renaissance, or did you, I wonder if you did, if people could see what you did there. She's like, right, where are you?
No. I do this, I'm not even doing it to you. I do it in general.
I know
I do
you
it in general if I'm like trying to remember what I'm doing. It's to hold what I'm thinking in my head.
Like relieving block in your brain, right?
Yes.
Yeah. This is pretty cute.
It's like, because sometimes I'll forget in the middle, and so I'm like trying to remember that I am doing something in the first place.
So I think on these feathers, what I'm going to suggest is doing a very fast technique, which you do these 2 colors of blue. You could maybe base it in black if you want to add some like grit in there, but I would do maybe all of your feathers this way, and then do so base it with black and then go over the top with 2 blues. And then that will tie in that blue color. What do you think?
Processing. I think.
What do you think?
No.
No.
I think maybe the blue here.
Ah, yes, I like that idea too.
And then this can be red and orange.
Oh.
And brown. So. Concentrate the blue in the center, and then more of these other darker tones to the outside. So it's following the following the path of the butterfly. So consistently, blue is here, so we're gonna keep the blue here. Then we're gonna do the same kind of color scheme to the outside over here with the feathers.
Interesting.
Okay, so that's the thought process.
Okay. Could they see you doing it?
I don't know if they
I don't
could
think
or not.
so.
Can you dry this off, please? Thank you.
Okay. When you're working with a lot of similar colors too, you don't really have to wash your brush out in between.
Yeah, this is just only because I went to the blues. Why I didn't know I was going to switch brushes yet, but because I was planning on doing that, that is why I'm doing the tiniest little bit of black, and I'm dabbing it out. You can't see, but I am dabbing it out so it's not as strong. And
so if you just do one swipe, I want you to show how easy this is. You don't just one swipe.
It wasn't.
Oh, you're doing the light application.
Yeah,
okay.
Because I dabbed it off. There we go. That's about what I was expecting it to be.
Yeah.
There was less on there than I was thinking. But yeah, very light application. Still a very big difference. I'll just dab it off in between.
I'd like it, the blue toned down the orange of the butterfly's body, for sure. Okay, Ainsley was right. More color, definitely better.
Winner, winner! Okay, so that's done.
Ainsley, do you like to be told that you're right?
Yes. I love when people admit that I'm right.
Oh, admit that you're right.
Especially when they're like, no. Okay.
I think putting the reds in there too, it also kind of tones it more copper feeling as well.
Yeah.
Like when you did that in the butterfly.
I'm just gonna drip this right on here. A little bit different method. And then I'm gonna drip it on here. And then I'm gonna drip it on here again with the sienna brown. So that was, what are these names? Rust orange, sepia brown, and now sepia brown, and then sienna brown. And now I'm going to take my handy dandy tip pen and go like this. Very, very meticulous process here.
Is that because you don't want to get your fingers dirty?
No, I just want the pools to pull up more.
Yeah, so you notice this isn't going to pool like our paint would, right? Like if you were doing pour paint, it's more going to blend together and create more of a gradient antique-y feeling on it than if you were doing this with paint.
So there's that like that. I'm going to go in and slurp this up with the cloth.
Slurp it up. Trying to come up with the right tint of antiquing to the background piece. Ooh. So you were doing the lion's head pendant on top of, so yeah, because you could make it natural brass. I think whatever works on a door would work on your piece. So you could do like a green would be really cool as the background of that, maybe black.
I really love where this is sitting at. I'm gonna go back in with some more brown after I have this
Just dry it.
dried out, yeah. With the heat gun. But as you can see, it creates more of like a natural variation, which is why I did the pool.
Yeah.
Versus if I was trying to apply it myself, I feel like this looks more natural. Oopsie. Now it's gonna go back in with the sienna brown.
I would say it doesn't even really need more.
With a little bit of black. I just want to add a little bit of contrast.
Like you want to vignette the edges
Yes.
a little bit more?
So I'm just dipping it in. I just did a tiny little dab, and then I'm just doing a tiny little dot of the black. Circular motion. And then I'm just going to lightly tap on the ends.
Oh, like tipping the edges.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like the
And
just
then
like the
I'm
bottom of it dipped.
Wiping off my brush currently, and now I'm just going to blend it with that wiped brush. There we go.
Cool. Yeah, I like that.
Just wanted to add some like more
What about
dimension
your
to the piece.
seed pod acorny piece?
I was gonna leave that.
Okay, so you can leave that in natural brass. Maybe just relief it a little bit.
Yeah. Here.
Okay, so are you going to use just the lighter
Yep.
blue in these? So then what I would suggest with these is just brush it over the top and let it settle in. So don't try to control it, and then let it naturally set into the grooves so they can see how that just
Where's our detail brush?
sits in there.
Oh, it's in the
You don't
water.
need that. You don't need it. Just use
Well, this is dirty.
just use this size brush. Where are we? This one. And just do a swipe right over the top. Put it on thick enough that it will just settle in there. Yep, because you don't even need to control it. It's just gonna go where it's just gonna settle in, and it's gonna do all the work for you. I always like to have at least one technique in here that shows that it's just that easy. And then if it's on thicker than you want in any areas, you can just touch the paper towel on it like a tiny bit, but that's it. You dry it and you're done. You could almost just heat tool it right there.
Yeah. And then you can relief it too to bring out the details even more.
Ah, so both of them are, so your background piece, yes. If you, a mixture of browns, for sure. Bingo bango. Look at how it's just done. I just love the way it just finds the level, and then your work is done.
Okay, let's do
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is start putting this together.
And then also
with your
this
layout.
will be here. I just don't want to put it in the puddle.
Yeah.
But it really ties it together.
Yeah. So I can start assembling this.
Just make sure when you assemble it, you remove the amount of chain that the butterfly would take up.
Mm-hmm.
That's the intention.
Yeah.
It's not hanging off of there, like it's the center of it.
Just only hand me the butterfly section for right now. Perfect. Well, you can decide what to do. I think you need to do a pair of earrings next with those hammered shapes. That's kind of the rule of thumb is we do a set for these preview days or reveal days.
Okay. I'm gonna set these over here too, so they're out of the way. These are to connect the two chains together.
So I'm going to do, I think, I'm going to remove one more length than the length in order to account for jump rings.
All right. So we have our flattened pieces. I think I might add just like some chain to this. So you will have to buy chain to make this, but let me just find some chain. I'll be right back.
I can get it for you.
No, it's fine. You're doing that. It'll take me 2 seconds. I know what I'm looking for.
1, 2, are you done?
No. So I got the CH104 170. We've used this a lot because this is one of the few chains we have here. Where are you? Is it labeled right?
Yeah. Nope, this is good.
Oh, I was just wondering why you're grabbing it.
I'm just going to grab you a section to work with.
Okay. So CH104 170.
I'm just was trying to figure out if
You can use any chain you want to. You can use chain scraps. I would highly recommend chain scraps for this specifically. Because, yeah.
I was just trying to figure out if we offered that particular one on our website. Right? Like that might be a warehouse one. That's possible. So I was just processing that in my brain when I was looking at it. So, small copper chain. So yes, that is the correct number. It's just if we have it on there or not.
So
but you
I'm
can
just
substitute any of our fine antique copper chains.
loosely
with it.
measuring how much I want. Okay, so I figured I wanted this length of it. We still don't have a ruler here. So, our handy relieving block.
Put it on the list, Peggy. Maybe you need to remind me. Send me text reminders to say
It's about this long in
bring
comparison to
a ruler.
This is how big it is in comparison to a relieving block.
Bring a ruler, and what are the other things I'm supposed to bring? A trash can, a ruler, and scissors.
I'm gonna cut out 2 more, and you'll see why. In a second. Give me a second. Just threading it through. This is how I like to cut my chain links to be the same size. So I just put it through one of these, or I put it through my bead awl. Either works. just something to hang it on, and then I put them next to each other to measure it to get the same length. I'm not going to do this part on screen because it's a little more tricky to do that. I need to see exactly where. Then I sipped it, now I'm just double checking that these are exactly the same again. And they're the same. And I'm just going to repeat that. Same process. Now double checking that I cut that properly. 4, 5, 6. And they're the same. Now I can lay these out. I'm gonna do 1, 2 here. And 1 here. And then I'm gonna add some jump rings. What are these? Etched ones? They're roughly the size of a JR 40-ish.
Yeah.
But they're etched.
They're like a 45 with the etched version. So they're maybe 8 or 9 millimeter jump ring. Yeah, so like any 8 or 9 millimeter jump ring should do it for you.
Lay those out. And then I'm just going to thread them through on there. I'm going to decide if I want to paint one of these things. I think I want to paint this key. I want to leave the brass flat, it's going to say flat, but flat in color. Not painted, but I do want to paint the key. And I think I'm going to do the blue again. Go in with that pale blue.
The antique paints are so versatile. Love them. What was the name of that light blue again? It's pale blue. We tried to keep the names a little bit easier, a little bit more representative of the color without being like too, what would you say?
On the nose?
Well, no, I mean, it's more on the nose, but not,
Too basic?
yeah. I was gonna say not too flowery.
Ah, yes.
With enough definition, but not so much that you're like, well, what does that mean? Because our original patinas were gemstone names, and not everyone really relates, or sometimes like it's chalcedony, right? And that comes in multiple colors, right?
So I just have this, I've just brushed it on here with this large brush, and I pulled it in the places I want it pulled. I'll go in with a reliefing block after, but I kind of like what it looks like right there, so I'm just going to quickly dry this. Okay.
I would say, like, I'm working over here on this necklace. I would say for sure take the time to antique both sides. We won't really take the time to do that today, but we'll go back in and later and do that. So if any of your pieces flip, it always looks finished.
There's a thing, right? Where a lot of moms have very heat resistant hands.
My fingertips are.
Yeah, like where you just like touch the pan. I do that already.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna be. This is why I'm final boss with this tool, and I'm just holding it here. Is I'm just developing myself to be the most like cool mom possible. Like my kids are gonna be like.
I think like great grandma Lily might have been able to take stuff out of the oven without mitts.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm just leveling myself up, guys.
Yeah, no, I mean my hands are soft except for my fingertips because of all the soldering.
Okay. I had to dry that a little more because it's more pooled up. Pull out some of these details.
Hi, Belinda. Oh, yes. So Patty said, oh, I've been watching for a while. New puppy. Does Ainsley have a star on her nose or is it paints?
It's a star. That's funny.
Yes, it's a sticker. It's a pimple patch. We went over this at the beginning of the live, but yeah.
Yep. Unfortunately.
Ooh, this is coming along, you guys.
They can't
Oh,
see.
you can't see.
I'm
Okay,
all-
wait. We can kind of show it under here. Construction is coming along. It's going to be really pretty.
Hole punch, please.
I was just using it. Here it is. Okay. Actually, I need that. Darn it.
Darn
it. Gosh.
You want to know what Hunter said the other day?
What?
Crud. I was like, wow.
So funny.
It's a long time since I've heard that. And he's like, I actually use it all the time now.
That is vintage grandpa.
No, I know.
My
He's like, he said I
gosh.
started using it a few years ago because he's like, he would normally be like, oh crap or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, it didn't hit the same.
Didn't hit the same.
And so I started saying crud and it did, and
Yeah.
he's like, I liked it. So
Yeah.
now I say it.
His favorite thing was, what the crud?
Yeah.
That's so funny. Okay, I need those hole punch players back from you so I can make this middle thing. Oh, okay. You guys, if this necklace disappears from the studio,
It will not disappear
You will
from the
know.
studio by you.
you know that it's at one of our houses and probably mine because it goes with my house. This goes with my new identity that
You
I have.
didn't trust in the blue. You said no
What?
to the blue.
I said no. You won me over, and I said yes, it's a good idea because I always advocate for pushing the process. I have witnesses; they heard me say it.
Yeah, but you didn't trust in the process at first.
Wait, you have to know that second. No,
You have to see the vision
No.
and trust me.
no.
Just writing that on there. She stole my plier already.
Patty says, "LOL, good. I thought I was losing it." We'll give it back to you in 1 second. I just have a jump ring in here. There. We only have the one loot here, guys, so I can't technically make another one of these. We'll have to share it because we both 50% made it.
I would have finished that out if I knew you were going to try and take it. I would have said, no, don't make it.
We're getting kind of covety over our creations here, guys. Belinda thought it was paint too. So is that what the new puppy was comment was? Is that you thought she thought she was sleep deprived because she's got a new puppy?
That's funny. What breed is it? What dog breed is it?
You know, I think you know quite a bit about different dog breeds.
Yeah, I do. I was surprised the other day. I don't remember what the lady said those dogs were, but it was
Right,
not,
you had not seen one.
I
like
had
that,
not
right?
heard the name before. It's not one I was
Interesting.
familiar with. It must be pretty niche, because usually I've at least heard the name.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the time I can identify. I remember somebody had a
Sure.
Great Pyrenees, and she was like, oh my gosh, I knew what it was. She's like, people don't usually get that. But a lot of times, and especially for it being a big dog too, I usually know those.
Australian Labradoodle. Is there a difference between like what we would know as a Labradoodle and an Australian one?
Maybe their labs are slightly different,
Yeah.
or maybe their poodles are slightly different over there. I don't know.
Curious.
Because there's a big difference between an American Akita and a Japanese Akita. The look is very, very different.
Oh, interesting.
And they're bred ever so slightly differently, so now they look very differently. So there would be a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's like that. These do fit right through. You just kind of have to get it to go in quite perfectly, which is why I've been doing it off screen. Okay, maybe I have to do it off screen still because I can't quite see.
Oh yes, tiny fitting the jump ring in there.
They all have gone in, so maybe this
That link probably was stretched.
it's just probably this.
Here, show them the tip of what to do.
This is what I do, because I'm too lazy to pull
Oh,
the bead
I
all
do
out.
that too.
Because I just pinch it in between.
Wait, but you can't see. You're not.
I'm
actually-
not even holding
You're
it
not
yet.
on screen.
Just wait. I will be on screen in a second once I have a grip on it. Okay. Now I don't have a grip anymore. Dang it. Okay, I have a grip on this, and I'm just gonna pinch it. But I didn't do that right that time. I don't have a good enough grip. I can't get a good grip when one of my arms are that far forward. You guys get the gist of it.
Maybe they do, maybe they don't. Maybe they really want to see it on camera and you're being absolutely frustrating. What do you think?
I actually can't at that angle. I can't get it to do it at that
Monica
angle.
says she loves Akitas. Aw, that's sweet, Monica. That's great that you have that kind of relationship. There's a dog called an Australian Shepherd. Maybe that's part of the mix. Okay, so. And we do this. Get some chain from over here. I will have you go to full screen and I will bring it up.
Can you grab me some earwares?
What kind?
Doesn't really matter. Just need to finish this out.
It does matter because Do you want the sideways ones?
Just the normal ones.
Okay. Because depending on where your jump ring's facing, it'll make it easier. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Woman behind the curtain.
Man as in mankind.
Yes. Sorry, girly. This got caught in your necklace. Oh, that's so sweet, Monica. It's really important to take time for the people you care about, right? That's like one of my focuses right now is the work-life balance and
Can you put
trying
that
to
back
make
on
sure.
there? I'm gonna go full screen.
Not yet. I'm in the middle of
I'll put it back on there.
There you go.
Because we'll be swapping out into the.
Yeah. I still put the clasp on this guy.
How was it put on here?
Very precariously, I would say. I think this is kind of, somewhat of an ambitious necklace.
There's a lot of painting involved, so I would say so.
Yeah, I mean for a live demo is what I mean, from like doing the whole thing. It's more than like, hey, let's make a bunch of pendant style necklaces. It's more of a statement piece, I would say. That's probably good enough.
No, I'm not getting it to stay.
It's okay.
I think it's because you added another necklace later. That
I'll
wasn't
fix
there
it
before.
later.
Just like full screen here. I have to take these out to put them in.
Side is already good. Let's make sure we're not twisty.
Couldn't zoom in.
You have to move your thing over.
I can go like this too. Now you can see
Oh
better.
yeah, now you can see. What do you guys think? I love it.
Earrings.
I always love doing the like seed bead choker with my necklaces too, because it just adds like just an extra layer. Ho ho. Okay, that is pretty stunning on you, I will have to admit. But I want one.
Tell Corey to send you a look. You
At
can do
least the
all the
pieces.
painting and then I will put it together for you.
Oh, ooh, okay, that sounds like
It's
a
a
deal.
fair trade-off.
Sounds like a deal for
'Cause
sure.
I don't want to do the painting again.
Yeah,
That's a one-time.
one-time dealie. I'm gonna copy it. Love the inspo. Okay, I think we should do your bracelet idea with those 3 connectors for the bracelet. Or no, actually, wait a second. We're gonna paint the bangles. And then we'll
You can
have
paint the
bracelet.
bangles.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I just
can do
needed
that. You
I
need
need
to
breathe
to breathe for a minute.
seconds.
Hey guys. Oh wait, you need to change it so that which one's the split view?
The very bottom.
This one?
Yeah, I'll fix it.
Okay, fix the camera, yeah.
There.
Higher. Here.
That's high enough.
I think so. You can turn this around to tell while I'm doing this. Okay, so I'm gonna antique these bangles. And maybe I'll make this one into something. So we'll have that part of the set shown for, oh, actually, you know what? Look at Ainsley already did this. That is what I'm gonna do for sure, is I'm gonna make this into a bracelet. Zoom out a little bit. Look at all the amazing things that we still have to work with as well. Like these should be earrings. Ooh, actually look at that. I think I'm gonna make these into, maybe what I'll do is I will let you make these into, I'll paint them. I will antique them. Actually, I'm trying to remind myself to say that so that we don't think we're using the same stuff. I'm just gonna do some black and bring out a little bit more of that detail. And maybe what I'll do is use a little bit of that turquoise, pale blue again, to make it tie in. Look at that. Just adding another layer of depth. Hey, can you turn that around so I can see people's comments? In case there are any. My favorite part, of course, is the butterfly, of course. And what Ainsley did with it, so beautiful, right? Okay. Ainsley's taking a nap over here.
I'm decompressing.
Maybe I'll do, what I'm gonna actually do is put this right on the top and let it settle in to the grooves like we did on the other one. You're just letting it set in, and then I'm gonna heat it. And then I'll go on with my next color. Could you grab me a green?
What brand?
Like olive green maybe? And I will just tip. I'm gonna do the solid brass version of this. What do you think for colors on the bangle? Should we go with the rusty brownish? Maybe all the oranges, browns, and reds on this? I feel like we do a lot of blues and greens, so that might be pretty on this bangle. I'm just gonna set this aside to dry a little bit more, get it out of my way. Make sure we don't have like anything that's gonna leak on top of here. Okay. Rust orange. And then I'm gonna do some sepia brown.
Oh, when did we get those chains?
Oh, Corinne sent them
I didn't even
a little
know those
while
were
ago. They're natural brass.
there. I know. I thought we
That's
didn't have
where
any at
that's
all.
where I pulled them from because I told her we didn't have any here at the studio.
I didn't even know that.
And then maybe some crimson red. When I see those pieces with the woman on them, I always think Egyptian. I don't know why.
Maybe because they
Pieces
have a
with
lot
the
of
woman.
powerful women in Egyptian
Maybe.
history. You know what's so crazy to think about is that
Ooh, look at how overpowering that is, actually.
we're closer to Cleopatra than like early ancient Egypt than Cleopatra is to early ancient Egypt.
Whoa, like you mean like it was that long ago?
It was that, no, their history is that long.
Right.
That we're closer to her.
Crazy. Okay, so to tone this down a little bit, I'm going to take a little bit of pale blue and olive green and just hit it in a few different areas. And then it'll bring in kind of the feeling that the butterfly had. So I'm just kind of adding that. I feel like maybe I'm a little too close to this because it's wanting to lose focus. You know what I'm saying? Like, or focus on the wrong thing. And it's like watching me like, this is chaos.
You're not on screen.
I know, well, it's harder than it looks, right?
That's how I said it. I was being petty.
Ooh, petty? You never. So I'm wondering if any of you guys have been, well, I know some of you have been around long enough to recognize the earrings that I'm wearing. Ooh, that's really pretty.
See, I've not even been around long enough.
No, you haven't, actually. See if you guys can recognize these earrings that I'm wearing. Okay, I'm gonna let this dry for a minute and we'll go back to this other piece. I wanna set, like, can you, let's do that. We'll go back to these. So what I think I'll do is just hole punch the bottom of these. Always go from the back so that you don't crush your piece. You wouldn't mind putting some jump rings on those.
Oh, I thought you were gonna put paint on this too.
Oh, well, do you think I should?
I think it'd be fun to show them.
Okay. So Ainsley says paint these too. So maybe I will take this olive green up here. And a couple of the rust.
Oh, I thought you were gonna add like antique to the.
I'm not done yet. And some sepia brown, which I really love. And that's just going to dust these up a little bit. So you guys can decide whether or not you want to add that or not. Kind of like the way that white is standing out, so I want to just wipe most of it away. Let's put some more sepia brown in this top part. Lisa, I just popped in. What is that? So this is part of this month's loot, and we are antiquing these. We're working on, Ainsley's got a gorgeous vocal necklace that she's made out of it, and I am working on a couple of cuffs and a pair of earrings that we're tag teaming. So I'm gonna take, let's see, a couple of these jump rings and put these in here. Wonder if two will fit. I think so. This is design on the fly too. So if something doesn't work, you're gonna see that it doesn't work and see us pivot and adjust.
So these you can do either way. I think it's fun to do both ways. So you can show them this.
Oh yeah. Right? Whichever direction.
But I like it.
I like
opposites.
it like opposite like this too, I think.
That's just a personal preference, but
Yeah.
you can do it the same way if you want to.
Right? Let's keep it opposites. Got a little bit more concentrated of antique in here. I didn't really notice. Also, I'm gonna want to relieve these. Then I'll have you do the other one. Okay, back to what I was doing. Like Northwest Indigenous are, oh, okay, so this piece, Mackie designed the print on it and it's UV printed. So I think 2 of those pieces come in the loot this month. So let's see, does this work? Can we get 2 in here? And if not, I think I can expand it. I'd like to double up my jump rings when it's in this kind of situation. Come on. I think what I may need to do in order to get this to work the way I want it to is use the awl to make this hole a little bit larger. So I'll just stretch that out. And maybe if I put the jump ring in first, it'll make it easier. And also I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Make it easier for myself to stay on screen. I think I need just a little bit smaller jump ring than this, because it's just being difficult enough that
And what?
Than this. So a little bit thinner, maybe 2 JR45s. Because they're thinner. Perfect. Because I want the look of a double jump ring on this. But that one was just a little too thick. So the question is, will this fit over the wrist like this, or do we need... Keep me on screen. Keep me honest about staying on screen.
You're almost off of it.
So the UV printed something new. So we used to do some private label items that were UV printed. We don't do it anymore.
They can't see that.
This looks pretty good. This won't fit over my wrist. So I think what we'll have to do is, and I do like the way this looks, but I'm noticing it's making it too large. So I think I need to do 2 like JR20s to make it work.
Let me see the 2 pieces. Can I see it for a sec?
No. I will need a lobster clasp though.
You want a medium?
So what we're going to do is clip it right into here. So what I'm trying to decide is, do I want it to clip off of this one?
What you could do.
Clip into here. Or are you thinking like roll it over to make it shorter?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, but I kind of want the clasp to be on this side so it doesn't distract from it.
Roll it over and jump ring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so.
Because your cutters are all right there.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is get my side that's going into the bracelet first. Get that set. So if something's not working, you'll probably notice this about my design process. If I'm struggling too hard with it, then I move on and change my path of direction, because I know a lot of times, especially if I'm making something for my shop, if I have to repeat this, if I'm going to make more than one, I want it to go really smoothly. So we'll do that. And then like Ainsley was saying, I can remove this portion, which is what I'm going to do, is actually clip it off.
I would clip then roll. Yeah, that's what I was
I'm
thinking.
just going to remove this.
Or just clip.
Yeah, and then use file. Now, this was pretty well perfect size for my wrist. If you've got a bigger wrist, you can expand this out and use more of the length of this.
Or use bigger jump
Piece.
rings. There's a
Yeah.
lot of different things you can do.
So in order to make it your size, you can do that. So there's a lot of flexibility with using this piece. I have a jump ring. I needed the pliers.
Oh, I was just giving you an open one.
Yeah. Okay, so this is actually, we're gonna need 2 jump rings because this the way this is.
Or you could use a figure 8, but we don't have any of that here.
No. And I don't know that they're readily available anyway. Can you put up, we've been using the antiques a lot today. Can you put up the
Normal set?
the normal set, the big one?
Complete.
Yeah.
I also can give you the smaller one if it's gonna fit still.
Oh yeah,
I just don't know if it like fits over it or not.
I think it
Let me see.
good question. No. No. So what I'll do with this one is we're gonna make it, I'm just gonna
They can't see what you're doing.
expand this one out a little bit so that it is, you want this to come directly clip into here and not have tension. And what I may do is curve this a little bit as well.
Oh, look at that. The tool we had featured last week.
Imagine that.
Also, curving it will make it shorter.
Yeah. Yeah, if you didn't hammer this, it would be a little bit more rigid. I need the smaller one actually, the second bail. Because I'm already, like what I should have done is curve this before I connected it, but since we're designing on the fly and figuring out and adjusting the length as we go along, you can kind of see that. And then you can always adjust this in or out. I can put this one on now. Any other questions? Nope. Okay, there we go. So there's that bangle, and then this one's been drying over here. And I'm just going to leave this a little bit. This is looking very much like very 70s wallpaper to me, which is kind of cool, but I also want this to be have a little bit more depth. So I think I'm going to come in with a little bit of black. It's really great. And just add it in. Just to bring out a little bit more depth in some of the sections. Doesn't take a lot to bring out a little bit more depth. And then you still get that pretty color coming through, but it's a little bit more muted and you really see the fine details of the piece. So there we go. What do you think? I can take off this other cuff so it's not distracting. And we've got this natural brass one, which could just honestly be relieved. Doesn't need anything more than that. I mean, it could stay the way it is, but okay, so kind of a fun stack. You want to try them on so you can have the whole set?
They're a bit too big for me, but it's okay.
Put them on your other wrist.
But it's fine to add it to the...
Oh, add it to your whole stack. Well, if you come further up your arm, then they're not as big on you. There you go. You want to try these on? We can swap out. We will also do lovely photographs for you guys of these and post them on DIY with Vintage of the final projects from today after we collect ourselves after the live.
Okay. cuffs here.
Oh, you've got original Bella bracelets on with that too. I just noticed today.
Yeah.
Were you inspired by the warehouse sale?
No, I've been wearing these for like
Have you?
a couple weeks
I
now.
didn't notice. We just sold some of that original beaded chain on the warehouse sale. That's what I was asking. I love those earrings. What do you guys think? With her focal necklace, like big statement necklace, the earrings, you could even put those others, I'm not going to make you do it, but you could put those in your second holes. You could at least like hold it up to show what the second pair looked like. Is that one of the tops that we got thrifting?
Yeah, it is.
Look at that too. Amazing. And it does feel a little bit Egyptian, right? It's like a mix between those two kind of feeling of motifs with
Do we still sell those bracelets
Thanks.
on the website?
I'm not sure. I think they might be sold out. We might have a few colors left. But they are really great.
Yeah, these are really great.
You can make your own by using 4mm chuck beads. And I don't know, are you still full screen?
Oh, I am. I'm so used to it. I don't know why I'm doing that, guys.
Anyway, you can make your own with our findings that are on sale. So you buy a 4mm check bead. Lima Beads has a great selection. And use head pins, eye pins. Remember, all of our findings on vintage.com are on sale right now. So you're still on full screen?
Yep.
I will zoom out a decent amount so I don't have to crowd you to be able to say goodbye. I don't have to sit in your lap.
This is also a really big trend right now, guys. Is you see all the girls, they like put them on like this.
And you can bend them to the shape of your arm,
Yeah.
right? Because a lot of these they come round. But because they're so flexible, you can make them more
I'm literally
your
right now,
size.
if I want it to be my exact size, I'm just pushing it in.
Can you scoochie so I don't have to like sit on your lap?
Now
Yes.
that sits
Perfect.
flush with my skin. And I'm not worried about it falling off or anything. Except for I should have did it more at the bottom of my wrist. Arms are so weird. It's hard to find what's actually the bottom.
Scoochie. Okay. Thanks for hanging out with us today. Pick up Corian's loot. You still have time if you're not subscribed to pick up the loot.
When do they
And-
need to order by, just in case they're a late watcher?
Let's see, what's the date today? Today's the 23rd, before the end of the month. If you want this particular loot with everything that we showed today, remember what we made here was just a fraction of what you're gonna get.
Let me just go back to here so you guys can see.
Everything that's left over and our
This
mess.
back up here. This is
That's all,
left over.
right? All more gorgeous
More.
things to do. And we were saying you could do bracelet with these three
You
pieces.
just put that into a puddle.
Oh, well, it's okay.
Cognizant of our surroundings.
What? I'm not. Ainsley was saying you in Europe would be scary by yourself. Because
No,
I'm
anywhere
oblivious.
outside of the country, I don't want to see her do that.
Not by myself.
She
said.
just is not.
She said I'm not allowed.
She-
I'm not personal safety aware enough. She said.
No.
Anyway, so all of this. Let me just zoom out. Wait. There we go.
Because it's not that
Look
she's
at all
like
that.
not smart or couldn't navigate herself with the help of Google Maps.
Yes, right. With that.
Specifically
With
with
that
that.
tool.
It's just
Have
mostly
to have
she's
it.
like
Oblivious.
completely oblivious of her surroundings.
Oh my goodness.
I would not trust it.
Anyway, so all of this stuff plus everything that we designed with today.
Yep.
And then if you can still pick up, let me see this one. If you haven't gotten one of the antique sets, this is a great way to do it. So can just remove all of them that way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let us know. Let me go back to the comments again. Look at, I'm getting so good at this.
Yeah, you actually can navigate it.
It's because I had to, because you were gone. Was there any code? So did anybody remember what these were from? I'm curious. I didn't see anybody answer that.
I think somebody did answer.
Oh, right,
you just
they
weren't
did?
paying attention.
Well, this could be right. Let me see.
You could scroll back up, down. Scroll back. Scroll back, wrong way.
Down. Okay, you scroll.
Maybe I'm imagining the
I
comments.
think you're imagining it. So these were from, and sorry if I missed your comment, these were from one of my very first master classes. Like 1 or 2. Number 1 or number 2. You guys know I love my big earrings, and these are not small. Anywho, are we done for today?
I don't think there's anything
Yeah.
else.
I think we showed a good amount. I always like to make sure that we do at least a set, at least a jewelry set when we do Corian's loop, but there's so much more to design with. It's really a great buy. So thanks for everybody for hanging out with us today.
We will see you next time.
Hey.
Bye.